If your company wants to operate as an NVOCC in the U.S. trades, there are two big pieces you need to get right: the FMC license application and the FMC bond. These two items work together. The license application tells the Federal Maritime Commission who you are, who controls the company, and who qualifies the business. The bond shows that your company has the required financial responsibility in place. In this video, we'll walk through the process step by step, explain expected costs, outline a realistic timeline, and cover common rejection points that can delay approval. Before you start the paperwork, confirm whether your company needs a U.S. OTI license as an NVOCC, an ocean freight forwarder license, a combined OTI license, or a foreign NVOCC registration. For a U.S.-based NVOCC, you will typically be preparing OTI license application paperwork and arranging the FMC required bond. This is also the point where many companies choose to work with an FMC registration consultant or a licensing support provider like DMS Trade Services to confirm the correct filing path before spending time and money on the wrong application. Next, collect the company information needed for the FMC license application. You should have your full legal company name, business address, state of formation, ownership details, officer and manager information, trade names or DBAs, branch office information, and your qualifying individual information. The qualifying individual, often called the QI, is one of the most important parts of the application. The FMC will want to see that the QI has the required experience to qualify the company. A common mistake is submitting incomplete QI information or failing to explain the person's NVOCC or freight forwarding experience clearly. The FMC bond should be coordinated early, not at the last minute. For NVOCCs and OTIs, the bond amount depends on the type of authority and business structure. Bond premiums can vary based on underwriting, credit profile, company history, and the bond provider. As a general planning estimate, companies should budget for the FMC application fee, the annual bond premium, tariff publication or hosting costs, and any consultant or filing support fees. Because official fees and bond premium rates can change, always confirm current pricing before filing. When planning NVOCC license cost and pricing, remember that the lowest filing cost is not always the safest option. Errors in the license application or bond can create delays that cost more than proper preparation. Before submission, compare the bond documents against the application. Check that the legal name matches exactly. Check that the address is current. Check that the bond covers the correct entity. Check that the bond amount is correct. And check that the bond provider information is complete. One of the most common rejection or delay points is a mismatch between the company name on the application and the company name on the bond. For example, if the application says ABC Logistics LLC, but the bond says ABC Logistics, that may trigger questions. For NVOCCs, licensing is not the only compliance requirement. You also need to be ready for tariff publication and tariff hosting. If you outsource tariff publication or tariff hosting, make sure you still keep internal control over approvals, records, and audit files. Your tariff process should show who requested the tariff change, who approved it, what was published, when it became effective, and where the confirmation is stored. Outsourcing tariff publication and hosting can reduce administrative burden, but it does not remove the NVOCC's compliance responsibility. Once the application, bond, and supporting details are complete, submit the package through the current FMC process. A realistic timeline may look like this: 1 to 2 weeks for preparation, depending on how organized your company records are. 1 to 2 weeks for bond underwriting and issuance. Several weeks or more for FMC review, depending on application quality, FMC workload, and whether follow-up questions are issued. In total, Many companies should plan for a process that may take several weeks from preparation to approval. If there are errors, missing documents, or bond issues, the timeline can stretch longer. Before filing, check for these issues: legal name mismatch, incorrect bond amount, bond issued under the wrong entity, incomplete QI information, unclear ownership details, missing trade name documentation, incorrect address, incomplete signatures, missing application fields, unclear disclosure answers, no tariff publication plan for NVOCC operations, and no one assigned to monitor FMC follow-up requests. These are preventable problems. A pre-submission review can help catch them before they become delays. To stay audit ready, keep a complete compliance file with the final submitted FMC application, all supporting company documents, QI backup information, ownership records, bond documents, payment confirmations, FMC correspondence, tariff publication records, tariff hosting confirmations, tariff change logs, and internal approval records. If you outsource tariff publication or hosting, make sure your provider gives you access to publication confirmations, historical tariff records, and change logs. Your internal team should always be able to answer 3 questions. What was filed? Who approved it? And where is the proof? A combined FMC bond and NVOCC license application can be manageable when you follow a structured process. Start with the correct filing path. Gather accurate company and QI information. Coordinate the FMC bond early. Review everything before submission, and keep your tariff publication and hosting records audit ready. DMS Trade Services helps NVOCCs with FMC license applications, FMC bond and filing services, tariff publication support, tariff hosting coordination, and compliance review. If your team wants help reducing delays, avoiding rejection points, and building a stronger compliance file, DMS Trade Services can support the process from preparation through approval and ongoing compliance.